Well, folks, it seems our old pal, Donald Trump, is back to his old tricks. And by old tricks, I mean slapping tariffs on countries like they're misbehaving toddlers in need of a timeout. That's right. On January 31st, 2025, the former president announced his grand plan to impose new tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China, effective immediately on February 1st. It's almost as if someone told him the definition of Groundhog Day, and he thought it was a policy recommendation. Now, you might be thinking, John, this is insane. Even for Trump, this is nuts. And to that, I say hold my beer, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. The specifics of these tariffs, like the actual rates and which goods are being targeted, are about as clear as a glass of Trump's favorite orange drink. In other words, we're all stumbling around in the dark, wondering who left the fridge open and let the economic chaos out. So, why these three countries? It's not like Trump picked them out of a hat. Well, actually, knowing him, he might have. But let's pretend there's some logic here. Mexico and Canada, our friendly neighbors to the north and south, are likely feeling a bit stabbed in the back right now. After all, they just spent the last few years hammering out a new trade deal with the U.S., the USMCA. But hey, treaties are like campaign promises, right? They're made to be broken. And then there's China, the perennial scapegoat for all of America's economic woes. It seems Trump's love affair with trade wars never really ended. He probably keeps a framed picture of Xi Jinping in his office right next to the Diet Coke button, just so he can glare at it between rounds of golf. The official reason for these tariffs? We're still waiting on that one. But I'm sure it involves some combination of jobs, China bad, and possibly a claim that windmills cause cancer. As you can imagine, the world has not met this news with open arms and a rousing chorus of auld lang syne. Mexico, Canada, and China have all expressed their, shall we say, displeasure at Trump's little trade tantrum. Government officials have issued strongly worded statements, businesses are bracing for impact, and economists are busy updating their doomsday prepper kits. Here in the U.S., the response has been a mixed bag of confusion, anger, and a healthy dose of, here we go again. Businesses, particularly those with supply chains that run through Mexico, Canada, or China, are understandably freaking out. Consumers are left wondering if they need to stock up on avocados and iPhones before prices skyrocket. And the rest of us are just trying to figure out how we ended up back in this economic dumpster fire. This whole tariff thing feels eerily familiar, doesn't it? That's because it's basically a greatest hits album of Trump's trade war with China from his first term. Remember those? Good times. Except, of course, for the farmers who lost their livelihoods, the businesses that went under, and the consumers who got stuck with higher prices. But hey, other than that, it was a roaring success. So, what's the end game here? Is Trump just trying to relive his glory days, one tariff at a time? Or is there some grand strategy at play that only he and his trusty advisors, who may or may not be made of cardboard cutouts, understand? Honestly, folks, I have no idea. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be interesting. And by interesting, I mean potentially catastrophic for the global economy. But hey, at least we'll have plenty to talk about on next week's show.